New tonight, big questions being raised about ride shares.
Uber and Lyft are actually good places for people who are avoiding paying child support to work because no one's really tracking your income. It's not.
So that's a Los Angeles-based rideshare blogger who claims the rideshare industry provides a shelter to deadbeat parents.
So are parents who owe child support, who drive for companies like Uber and Lyft, less likely to pay child support for their wages?
We set out to verify the problem and, more importantly, to see whether anything can be done about it.
For single parents, it's always an ongoing struggle.
Between school supplies, music lessons, and just the basics, this Phoenix area divorced mom pays for the daily expenses of life of her kids without the help of her ex-husband.
I feel as though my options are just very limited.
We're not revealing her name to protect the identity of her kids. She has a child support order from court, but feels it's worthless. Her ex drives part-time for Lyft. She says she knows he makes decent money as a driver. But as family attorney Ashley Donovan explains, these drivers fall in the category of independent contractors, not company employees.
Because if it's an employee and you're receiving a paycheck and a W-2, there are already laws in place that require the employer to withhold the child support and send it to the clearinghouse and to the parent. But when it's a subcontractor, they don't have that obligation. And
Donovan says her most recent attempt to garnish wages from an Uber driver on behalf of a client just a few months ago was not successful. Parents should have options. They can appeal for help from the courts or through DES.
And they have a number of remedies available to them, things like intercepting tax returns.
But it's just not always that easy. This mom says when she went to DES,
I provide DES what they request, and I wait, and I don't receive any follow-up. The representative indicated they have previously attempted to collect from the shared ride companies with no success.
A spokesperson for DES says they do have success garnishing wages, that DES has issued incoming withholding orders to rideshare companies, including Uber and Lyft, and they are responsive to requests. So what do the big two companies have to say, the ones making a lot of money off of this industry? Both Uber and Lyft declined an on-camera interview. Now, Uber did tell us in a statement they are willing to cooperate when ordered to do so. That Uber deducts garnishments from driver payments when we are served with either a child support order, a state or federal tax levy, or a garnishment order issued by a state court for personal debt. The statement provided to us by Lyft suggests they are less proactive. They tell us this type of information is only given to drivers that need to pay for child support since this is directly with them. With the burden on parents to cut through the bureaucracy of courts and government, this mom says it's time to change state law to make wage garnishments automatic of rideshare drivers. After all, the drivers may be their own bosses, but the companies slap their names on those cars and know exactly how much those drivers make every day.
There's a trail, there's a paper trail, and they're not required to provide that information to the state because he's an independent contractor. I think that's what needs to be changed.
So we can verify the state does not automatically garnish wages from rideshare drivers. The courts and DES can force the issue. No matter what, though, those drivers are still required by law to self-report wages and pay the child support they owe.